we left some chances on the table, but you never feel disappointed when you win a game.
Welcome to Red Stars Report, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news and commentary on all things Chicago Red Stars. I'm your host, LT. I will be soloing this episode today. This weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the Red Stars match as a member of the media and just couldn't find the time to record on our usual Sunday night because I was driving home after the match on Sunday. However, I was not going to let this episode go by the wayside because of how great this win was. So the Red Stars completed their season sweep of the Royals with a 3-1 win, a historic win too, as this was the 100th regular season win by the club in its history, which is incredible stuff. Now, how did we get here? We all thought we were going to get off to an immediate lead when Penelope Hocking scored a goal 17 seconds into the match, which, if not for a call of offside, it would have been the fastest scored goal in NWSL history. So that sucked. I thought the instant offense would give the club a boost in confidence to the attack, but I think it took over 20 minutes for them to get another shot on goal. The team is still struggling, even against a bad team like Utah, to find an abundance of chances in front of goal. But when they had the opportunities, they capitalized on them. You could tell early on that Mal was frustrated with the way that the offense was performing. I could hear her yells and demands from the press box. Utah's best opportunity outside of their actual scored goal in the second half came in the 11th minute, but Alyssa was there, as she always is, to make a great save, diving to the ground to keep the score leveled at 0. But in the 23rd minute, the Red Stars finally got another opportunity with a shot on goal. This time, after a great turnover caused by Mal by poking the ball away, Ali Schlegel picks it up, gets it back to Mal on the wing. She sent in a gorgeous cross to an unmarked Jenna Bike. Jenna heads it in to the back of the net for the first goal of her professional career. An incredible moment for Jenna. One she said she may have manifested prior to this match.
I think it starts like before the game, kind of speaking it into existence. Ava Cook and I were kind of joking that I manifested a goal this game, just because I kept saying it and kept believing that one was coming. So yeah, before the game and just having that belief, and works out sometimes.
Just another great connection between Mal and Jenna. These two are a pair I can't wait to see more of as this season goes on. And Jenna's impact didn't stop there, as she would eventually draw a penalty in the box, which allowed Mal to get a little bit of redemption after missing a PK. I think it was last week. Mal buried this one, sending the keeper the other way, making it 2-0 for the Red Stars. Jenna then drew another foul, leading to a yellow card by Utah. Like, this is who she is. Like, that is Jenna Bike to a T. Goal, draw a penalty, draw another foul that leads to a yellow card in just the first little over 30 minutes of the match. And here's the thing about the first half. Yes, Utah is not a great team, which is why I won't get too overly confident in the Red Stars' ability to put some points on the board this week. Possession was still a big issue. I feel like there are still issues in that midfield, even with Leilani Nesbitt switching out or switching in for Julia Bianchi in the midfield. Our defenders on the wing constantly need help from our center backs or the defensive midfielders to be able to contain certain attacks. Utah had opportunities. Chicago did just enough to stop those opportunities, at least most of them. But it still isn't pretty. or at least up to the standards I'm sure that the coach has for them. They're a very heavily focused defensive team from front to back. Like coach always says, from the forwards to the back line, that's where they want to start the defense is up front and then have it come back. And just like right in the midfield is sort of where they're having these issues or along the wings. So they still have things to clean up, even against a team that isn't playing great like Utah. Now, what was really hard to watch was the second half. Missed scoring chances by Maxi, by Mal, by Penelope. However, Penelope would break away and score in added time to seal the deal for the Red Stars. A beautifully weighted pass by Jamise Joseph, who I'm incredibly impressed by early in this season. But the hardest thing to watch was in the 58th minute when Alyssa Nair went for the ball at the edge of the box and pulled up with an apparent leg injury. On the ensuing possession, she struggled to even stay upright as Utah charged for goal. And after the ball went out of play, Alyssa went to ground and had to be subbed out of the match for Mackenzie Wood. Even though we haven't received an update as of this recording, it looks like Alyssa walked off under her own power and again was walking on the pitch uh, after the match without any supports or braces or anything. So I think she'll be okay. But if Alyssa isn't available next week, we'll likely see Mackenzie Wood back in goal, who received her first regular season minutes with the Red Stars in this match. Wood, a Northwestern grad, spoke after the match about how Chicago still feels like home to her.
This feels like home still. Growing up in Granger and then going to Notre Dame after Northwestern, and like I just feel like this is my home, and I just want to represent like everyone in this area. So it feels nice.
Wood was in goal one other time for Chicago in their friendly against the Mexican national team last year, where Mexico dominated, but Wood had plenty of impressive saves while she was in goal. She was also in goal twice for Stade Ram when she was on loan in France over the winter. Wood was tested a couple times in this match, an easy save in the 79th minute. Moments later, tipped a ball to the post that went off of her back, and I think it went off the post again. It really would have been unfortunate if she if it had allowed to go in goal there off of her back. I would hate for her debut like that to end with an own goal, but it didn't, which is good. I thought she recovered well in that position, but moments later, Cameron Tucker outside the box put a ball into the top bin that was just unsavable, like an unreal strike from that far out. I could not believe it. It was it was not fun to watch. The Red Stars would go on to win 3-1 and sweep the Royals in their inaugural season, or I guess their return to the league. But that giving up that one goal, it just felt like the Red Stars can only have goals scored against them if they are own goals, if they are absolutely stellar banger goals, or if it's just Sophia Smith being a menace. Overall, I thought the back line was solid. Natalia Kuika and Sam Staub were everywhere as they always are. Taylor and Maxi, I thought, did all right. Nothing too bad, or really not really anything special from them. I thought in this match either. They got dribbled past a couple times. Not their speed is not the best on the outside of the defense, but they recovered well most of the time, or they had Sam or Natalia or Carrie or Leilani to sort of be there if they weren't if they're if the attacker got past them. But overall, I thought the defense once again was pretty solid. The midfield I don't think was super great. I think this was probably Carrie's worst match of the season. I think probably because she's so used to just having Julia to her right and not Leilani, and she's still kind of getting to know her and her tendencies. Leilani was good when she was going at people. She's really a menace in that way, challenging others for the ball, really getting stuck in. But her passing was not great. It's hasn't been great ever in her career, even going into back to college. And she lost possession a little too many times, specifically for that position, that space on the field. But overall, I think she's been improving, but I'm still not overly convinced that she should be getting full 90s. The offense scored 3 goals, won a PK, so you can't falter them too much. They got the win. That's what really matters, but they did leave a lot of opportunities on the table and could have really made this one a blowout if they had capitalized on those opportunities. Jenna, I thought, had her best match of the season, was voted Red Stars Reports Discord's player of the match, 72% of the vote. If you want to join in on our polls for player of the match, make sure you click on the link in the description to join our free Discord community. It's really a blast in there, especially during matches, specifically away matches when everyone isn't at the match, sort of focused on it, and everyone's just watching on TV and chatting in the Discord. But make sure you join that. Mal was really a leader out there, evident by her receiving the armband when Alyssa had to come off the field. She'll get back into her old form here soon enough, I think. Once things start really clicking in that front line, and perhaps maybe when she gets more time with the national team, sort of at an upper level, really getting back to playing and developing relationships with or redeveloping relationships with players that she's played with for such a long time. I think she'll really get back into the groove. Being back in that national team environment, I think will really help her a lot, and help her progress into this uh, new era of Mal Swanson after her injury. I thought Ali Schlegel was winning her duels again and making things happen to get turnovers while pressing, but not really much else offensively going for her. And then Penelope Hawking was great. If she capitalized on her missed chances and had not been called offside on that first goal, she could have had 3 or 4 in that match, the way that she was playing. And this goes back to what we've been talking about for a long time. Penelope is thriving these last couple of matches while playing centrally. She is not a winger, in my opinion, and I will die on that hill. Keep her next to Allie centrally and let her find a groove there. Let her develop there. Let Mal, Jenna, and Mies get the minutes on the wings where they belong. But Penelope will be a great player in this league if she keeps developing minutes as a central forward / attacking midfielder. I think that is where she belongs, and I think that is where she will play the best minutes of her career if they just keep her in that position. But speaking of Mies, who I just mentioned, she was pretty awesome once again. I can't get over how great she is in both pressuring when she doesn't have the ball, and her decision making with the ball. Her passes have been great, and she got her first professional assist on that 97th minute goal by Penelope Hocking. I really was not sold on them picking her in the draft. I don't know a whole lot about college soccer, but with every pick I went and did my due diligence and did my research, and I just could not see, just through um some of her college tape that I had watched, um any large justification of drafting her that high. But you can tell just by the way she plays that she was ready for the pros. She has the composure of a pro. She looks like she has the mentality of a pro. I think she's very quickly learned from the veterans on this team how to be a pro and how to play on the field. And it's been really great to see someone who I didn't have too much expectations for uh, really be someone who's of great value off of the bench for this team. The other players that came in off the bench were Shea Groom and Julia Bianchi. I still don't think that Julia should be benched because you lose her long ball passing ability and her ability to win the ball in the final third, or just the fact that she's in the 74th percentile for tackles by defensive midfielders. But I don't know, if you're not even going to utilize her real talent as a set piece taker, then I don't know what to do when she is on the field or when she's off the field. It's just I don't know. Uh, moving moving on from that, I won't go on another Julia rant as I have before these past several episodes. But Shea Groom came in, and she was exactly what you expect Shea to be, a disruptor. She only played around 30 minutes, still won a couple tackles, won 5 ground duels, 3 aerial duels. That's just who she is. I wish they could find a way to get her more involved offensively, though. I'd really love to see a Shea Groom header before the season is over. But as I said earlier, it's another win against Utah, but Utah is not a club I expect them to lose to. You're supposed to beat Utah if you want to be a playoff team, like I believe Chicago is and will be. 2 of the 3 losses this season have come from teams above them in the table currently. And their draw came from that side of the table as well. All of their wins have been against clubs lower on the table than them, which is fine, but they need to start winning against clubs that they're not expected to win against. Their next opponent may be just a little bit lower on the table than them. They are 7th, Chicago's 5th, but it's Gotham FC, a club that won the championship last season, a club that has former Red Stars, Ella Stevens, Tierna Davidson, Cassie Miller on them. Tierna hasn't played since April 20th, and it looks like Cassie has lost her starting goalkeeper spot to the newly signed German international and Katrin Berger. A lot to play for in this one. Chicago needs to keep their scoring trend going against a club that has allowed the least amount of goals in the league, but Gotham has also scored the least amount of goals in the league. So hopefully Chicago's defense is able to hold them off just as everyone else has. But the last thing that I wanted to talk about were 2 things. Congratulations to Sam Staub and Alyssa Nair on making the NWSL best 11 team for the months of March and April. Incredibly well deserved. I think Natu belonged on there as well. I still believe that she's been the best player on the Red Stars this season, just being that silent warrior, as Tatum Milazzo called them, or silent killer as Grant has called her. But that's beside the point. Also, congratulations to Sydney Schneider on being rostered for the Reggae Girls in their upcoming friendly in June during this international window. And I can't wait to see more Red Stars names on those roster lists. Now, I just wanted to end by saying this. With Chicago sitting on a 5-1-3 record and sitting 5th on the table, it makes me so incredibly happy to look at this club and watch them succeed. These last couple of years have been crushing at times, and to come into this offseason with very little positive storylines, to now having a team on the rise and players, coaches, a front office, and ownership to create a team that should be a playoff team is just a joy to watch. And now I get to cover this team from the press box each week, which I would not have been able to do, and it would not have been possible without the support and encouragement I've received from this community over the last 2 years. You are all the reason that I do what I do. I wanted to create a space where Red Stars fans could be themselves and share their love for this club with each other. And the more we grow, the more you all, give me a reason to keep climbing to new heights. This time, it just so happened to be an air-conditioned press box on a 80-degree day at SeatGeek, so thank you for that. But I will continue to provide the best coverage that I possibly can for this club that we all love, and I will always provide you all with the latest information that we all want to know surrounding this team. So please continue to engage with others in this community. You can DM me as well and just chat with me about this club. I'm always open to talking to anyone about the Red Stars, because I wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. But with that, I'll wrap things up for this week. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to those locations so you know when our next episode goes up. Make sure you're following us on Red Stars Report's social media channels at Red Stars Report, and you can keep up with the latest news between episodes. Don't forget to join our Discord with the link in the description. The next time that you see me, hopefully I will have a co-host back. These solo episodes are a little rough on my voice, but we'll be recapping the Gotham FC match. And with that, we will see you next week for another Red Stars Report.